Okay, so what I want to do is that I'm doing the Pop Sugar Challenge this year. And I want to pick my first book, but I'm going to use randomizer to see which challenge I'm going to do first. So let's see, generate. Oh, it's number 3. Let's see, which one is 3? Which prompt is 3? So 3 is a book you meant to read in 2025. Okay, so that's kind of funny because I originally had Emma here by Jane Austen, and I just finished it like today, a couple of hours ago. So that's out. Book I meant to read to this in 2025. I still think it's 2025, but I didn't read it. Actually, I went to read all of the Jane Austen books, and I kind of I got riled up by Mansfield Park, which is it's just so boring. I'm sorry, but it wasn't the best. I also actually went to read Persuasion. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read Persuasion by Jane Austen. So that's my next read. Guys, let's talk Persuasion by Jane Austen. So I listened to this as an audiobook. The narrator was kind of like, one of those kind of narrators where you don't really notice the narrator. So she's good. She's just not very memorable, but it was good. And this one was unabridged, not like Emma. This is actually one of her shorter books. It was only 8 hours on the audiobook. And this is also sadly her last book. She died before she could even give it a title. So actually her brother Henry gave her the title Persuasion. And in the family, she just used to call it the Elliots. And some people think that maybe that was supposed to be the title, but she never really named books after people except for Emma. So I don't really think that. Also, it's not really about the Elliots. It's about Anne Elliot. So the book starts out not actually talking about Anne Elliot. That's an interesting thing. It starts talking about her father, and then it moves on to her sister, Elizabeth, who's the older sister. And then it goes to Anne, and we also learn about her sister, Mary, who's younger. Anyway, so Anne is 27 when the book begins. And she goes to her sisters. It's a whole thing. The important part is that she meets Captain Wentworth, who she actually knows because she was engaged to him when she was 19, but she was persuaded out of the engagement. And she was talked out of it because he was just a Navy officer. He wasn't like anyone really, and she's like the daughter of Sir Elliot, so duh. But he came back and he's this handsome captain, and he's had very big successes in the Navy. His star is rising and all of that, and everyone is like in awe of him. All the girls want him. And no one actually knows about this engagement because it was kind of on the low-key, down low. So Anne is actually, she's an interesting character because she's the type of person who's very strong on the inside. Like everyone kind of depends on her. When there's a problem, when there's a crisis, everyone turns to her. She's the one they go to. And then when there's no crisis, when she's not needed, she's kind of put back on the shelf. But she's very good in a pinch. And she's very dependable, but she's also kind of smart. She speaks Italian, and she's also, she says that she's not very good, but she keeps translating songs. So, and songs aren't that easy to translate. Also, she's very kind. She's very helpful. She helps everyone. And she also helps the sick a lot because one of her nephews has a bad fall and she helps them. Then there's this, so her sister, Mary, is Mary. And Mary has a sister-in-law who also has a bad fall. Apparently everyone's falling around. And she wants to help there, but it kind of doesn't pan out that way. And then she also has another friend who she knew from the girls' school she went to, who's kind of fallen on hard times, and she helps them out as well. And then karma replaced her in that situation, but that would be spoiler territory, but it's kind of in the wind. Anyway, there's no crazy wicker here. I talked in my Emma review about how Austen sometimes have these bad vicars in her books. And anyway, so another thing about Anne is that, of course, we know that she's getting married in the end. Like, it's a Jane Austen book. What is she going to do? Stay single? No. But it's kind of like, it's very earned because she's this, she kind of finds her voice as well. She kind of finds her strength. And you just know that this is going to be a very good marriage for her. And maybe she gets to travel. I mean, she's going to be the wife of the captain, so, and does travel. Also, so another thing about this whole situation is that Captain Wentworth is a bit sour about the broken engagement. And she kind of thinks that maybe she broke him a bit, but he seems fine, so, but it's like, it's understandable. She was 19, like, back then, of course, she was considered a grown woman and like perfect age to get married. But nowadays, get married at 19, I mean, people do it, but I wouldn't really recommend it. I mean, seriously, your brain isn't developed enough yet. And so, yeah, she was very young. So, of course, she could have been persuaded out of an engagement, which wasn't like that good to begin with. I mean, in that situation. So maybe she actually helped Captain Wentworth. That's my theory. She actually helped him because he was like free to roam around. He was free to take any position he wanted to. He didn't have a wife and kids tying him down. So he was fine to roam around. And 27 is a perfect age to get married. I'm seriously, I'm 43. I haven't been married. So what do I know about marriage? Anyway, so yeah. Overall, this is a very nice book. It, like all the adaptations, they usually take place completely in Bath. Like every adaptation I've seen, it's all in Bath, which is kind of a deviation from her normal books because usually they're mostly in the country and you see these country homes. But actually, the book, to my great surprise, is mostly taking place in the countryside, and only the last little bit is in Bath. So I was kind of expecting this to be all about Bath. After all, Jane Austen lived in Bath. But no, it's not all about Bath, and you barely get any sort of like, oh, this really feels like Bath. I would have liked that actually. She wasn't that very keen on describing cities, come to think of it. Anyway, so yeah, that's the book. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I did only give it 4 stars because I don't know, it just wasn't so filled with, for example, Emma or Pride and Prejudice. The characters didn't feel that strong as in those books because Anne is like the strong character, but a love interest, Captain Wentworth, he was like just there. Like I didn't really get a lot of sense of what he was like. And also the other characters, Elizabeth was just annoying. Then there was Mary, who was kind of like, she was kind of an attention hog, youngest child syndrome. So yeah, so I just gave it 4 stars, but it was a good book. I enjoyed it really a lot, and I'm kind of sad that this was the last one, and there's no other Jane Austen. I Can we take a time machine back and just cure her or something? I would love that. Also, read the full review on Goodreads, Storygraph, or my own little blogger site on Apologetic Reviews. I almost forgot the name of my own site. It's because my words, no apologies. Okay. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.